saw some NFL player comps, NFL NBA player comps, so that I thought were interesting. Let me hit you with a
Hmm.
couple. Um, the one that I don't agree with, I seen this on Twitter before I get into NFL NBA player comps. Tyrese
Okay.
Halliburton, Jalen Hurts.
Okay. I don't agree with that, but I
I
can
don't
see
either.
whoever put that out there. I can see where
I
they were
see the
coming from a
vision,
little
yeah.
bit. Yeah, I see the vision, but I don't agree with it.
I think Hurts is a better player, but just that clutchness when you need Hurts to
Hmm.
make the throws, all that, but he's not as well respected. I get
Right.
that, but
Yeah.
I don't think Halliburton is the type of player Hurts is at his position yet,
Right.
in my
I
opinion.
agree with that.
Um,
No, I agree.
and then when I saw the guys the comps player comps, it was on TikTok. I forgot the creator's name, but the one he said for Hurts was Jason Tatum, which I agree with that. I think that's a little better
Yeah.
because Tatum won a chip. His roster is amazing. The Boston Celtics.
Hmm.
He's the lead guy, but we don't look at it the same because he's got a bunch of talented players around him.
Right. Right. Similar to Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, and we don't give. I
Um.
feel like we don't give Tatum the respect he deserves.
Yeah. No, we definitely don't. I feel like that was a big topic over the course of this past year. Like, hey, this guy's coming off of an NBA championship, and no one really is giving him the praise that he should be getting. But that I guess that's what comes with having a good team around you. And I don't know.
Not even seeing minutes in the Olympics either, bro.
Yeah,
Bro was a
that yeah, I
spectator.
still don't understand that. I still don't understand that. I think that made things worse for him as well.
Yeah. But the last game before he got hurt, he was hooping against the Knicks. That last game, he was going.
Yeah, he was.
Him and Brunson were going bucket for bucket. Um,
They were.
and then it's like, yeah, Hurts in the NFL. I seen like Phil Sims or somebody, one of the one
Hmm.
of the media personalities, former player. His ass said Hurts ain't even top 10, or he had Hurts 10
That's crazy. That's
behind
crazy.
Baker and Herbert.
Oh, I didn't see that. I mean,
I'll send it to you.
yeah, that's insane. Yeah, I gotta see that.
Cause it's like, all right, if you don't want to put Hurts top 5, okay, all right.
Right.
But I shouldn't see Herbert, who hasn't really accomplished much, outside of, a couple nice stats. I don't want to
Hmm.
see him over Hurts. I don't want to see Baker Mayfield over Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, no, no.
So, I mean, Jaden Daniel, like the worst I would put Hurts is at 6. And that's how I feel about
I would
Tatum.
put him at 6 or 7.
Uh-huh. That's the worst I'll put him.
Oh yeah. Yep.
The highest
I
though,
agree.
the highest, top 3. That's another conversation for another day, though.
Oh wow. Wait, who? Tatum or Hurts?
Probably just speaking more on Hurts. I don't fuck with Tatum like that.
Tatum. Okay, Hurts.
I'm a
Hurts
Hurts
top three
glazer.
is insane. That's insane.
Well, when we get more towards July, I'll start doing, the top 10, position by position. We'll break that down. Um,
All right.
so back into the NFL, NBA player comps. Curry, Mahomes,
Yeah, I agree with that. I said that. I've been saying that for a few years.
both players changed the game in some
Yeah,
capacity. And
and they
Mahomes, yeah, how he helped transition the NFL to like Lamar, Michael Vick, those guys. But it helped, the traditional quarterback be more of that guy that's scrambling, making plays on the run, making
hmm
throws on the run. Like, guys like
they
Caleb
both have
Williams.
that playground style.
Exactly. And they have that swagger and shit. So and the greatness is
Hmm.
still there. Mahomes has won a lot. So has Curry.
Yeah.
Um, And then obviously Tom Brady, LeBron James. I don't think we could argue with
Hmm.
that.
No,
I think though,
outside of the championships.
yeah, of course. I think Tom Brady, his equivalent probably is more Michael Jordan, but we're going in the people that are still playing. It makes more sense.
Right. Right. Right.
Um,
Right.
I don't know how I feel about this one. Maybe because I hate the NFL player, but Kevin Durant, Aaron Rodgers.
No, I feel like you have to say that just because Aaron Rodgers has only got it done once, which was in what 2011,
Yeah.
and Kevin Durant hasn't gotten it done by himself yet.
Uh-huh.
So, and they're both like generational talents. I see that. I see that for sure.
You look at Aaron Rodgers, arm talent wise, he's one of the best like talent quarterbacks of all time. And then you look at Kevin Durant, he's one of the best scorers of all time, probably the toughest guy to guard, just a bucket all around. Um, and like you said, yeah, Aaron Rodgers, he got it done once.
Mhm.
Kevin Durant, he got it done twice, but we give him an asterisk for that. People, it's a Mickey Mouse championship, both of them. But so yeah, I see the comparisons and attitude wise, I like Kevin Durant more as a person. I think Aaron Rodgers is kind of a douche, but I still see where they're going with that.
I encourage you to watch Aaron Rodgers documentary on Netflix. If you haven't already, I encourage you to watch it.
I see the Pat McAfee interviews. I think he's hilarious. Like
Yeah,
he
he is.
trolls a lot, but yeah,
Yeah.
I'll check it out. I'll probably have to check it out on one of these days where I ain't doing shit, like nothing. This one is another one I don't agree with. James Harden, Lamar Jackson, but I see the vision.
Oh, I see the vision as well, but I don't think I can agree with that because I feel like, in a sense, Lamar Jackson wants it more
Uh,
than James Harden. James Harden, I feel like, great player, don't get me wrong, but I feel like at times, just by body language, how he carries himself, you can see Lamar Jackson wants it a lot more.
exactly. I think so too. And it's like I think Lamar has been more dominant than Harden. I know Harden went crazy. Harden used to like this is one of the best scoring seasons we've seen ever. He was averaging 50 a
Hmm.
game for a month
Yeah.
span of time. So and I think the whole not showing up in the biggest moments, not showing up when the lights are brighter, I think Harden is a little worse with that than Lamar.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
it's hard to compare both sports and all the factors
It
that go
is.
within it. But I see where they're going with that. You think that Lamar and Joel Embiid is a better comparison, or which comparison you think is more fitting?
Ooh. Um, I
I
think
see the
James
Embiid
Harden is
one
a
a lot.
little bit. I, I only the thing about Embiid is the injuries that come to mind for me,
Right.
and Lamar is he's a tough player.
Hmm.
That's not a knock to Joel Embiid at all, but I for whatever reason it is Joel Embiid. When he's brought up, I just think about his injuries, unfortunately, and but if you take that away, I see where you're coming from.
Right. Um, the next one, this is Joel Embiid, Dak Prescott.
Oof, that's more. I can see that a lot more than Lamar.
Okay.
Because of the expectations
Hmm.
and then the downfalls, the injuries. Yeah, I feel like that's to me that's better. That's a better comparison than Lamar.
And the Cowboys and the Sixers, yeah. The fan base
Yeah.
is just like the
Oh
always
yeah.
expecting different, just the same
It's
outcome. Yeah, I
a
could see
little bit
that.
like the Bears.
Right. This one was interesting. I don't know how I feel about it. DeMar DeRozan and Jared Goff. I don't know if
That is random. That's random.
He's like, let me just put these shit together like nobody noticed.
Yeah.
I don't know how the 2 are related. I
Me
didn't know
either.
DeMar DeRozan was viewed like this. Either Jared
Me
Goff
either.
either.
Like
uh,
DeMar DeRozan and Jared Goff, like they don't match in my mind. Like I don't
at
even know how
all.
you come up with one and the other at the same time. It doesn't make sense.
Right. The next one, Kawhi and Matthew Stafford.
Mm. Well, one of them shows up to work, but but I mean, I see it. Matthew Stafford, he's a really great talent that doesn't get the respect he deserves. And
Mhm.
actually, before we hopped on here, I saw Devontae Adams talking about how much of a dog he is.
Mhm.
Just like being able to see things that other quarterbacks aren't able to see, and just reading the defense so well that like they think they're covering the right way, and then he'll show you why you're not.
Right.
Um, and with Kawhi Leonard, his defense is second to none. Like he's when he plays, he's a great player. So
Exactly.
I agree with that.
It's just hard because Matthew Stafford really don't be getting hurt like that. Um,
Right.
But peak Matthew Stafford is one of the top 3 quarterback in the NFL, like, he's different.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, Kawhi when he's at his peak too. Last couple, Wemby, Jaden Daniels.
I mean, yeah, it's
It's a crazy
I can agree
comparison
with
though,
that.
because
It
Wemby is
is.
so good. We don't view Jaden Daniels as the best quarterback in the NFL, but Wemby could be the
Right.
best player in the NBA in 1 or 2 years. But,
I
you
think it's
know,
just the instant success from both of them. I think
okay.
that's what it comes down to.
That makes sense. Young and showing up that they're one of the
Yeah.
top players. Luka, Josh Allen.
Weight wise, yeah. Um,
Kinda looking like, yeah, a
and
little bit.
yeah, and then just the simple fact that they just get so close. Luca was in the finals last year. There was a lot of hope in LA just when he became a Laker and teaming up with LeBron. There was a lot of hope there. And Josh Allen, Bills Mafia is always they always have a lot of hope in getting over the hump and beating the Chiefs, but it just never
Yeah.
turns out that way for them, unfortunately.
Right, and I think the thing about this, yeah, Luka gets in his own way. I feel like Josh Allen doesn't. I feel like Josh Allen always
Yeah,
shows up. He always hoops in the playoffs. Like, you could look at the games they lose, it's not because of him.
yeah, no, 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 no,
But
definitely not.
whereas Luca, he's a liability defensively, just the weight management, all that stuff. So I like the comparison in terms of both guys as talented as they are. I like that.
Hmm.
But just personal characteristics, other stuff
Oh
kind of
yeah.
differs. Last one, SGA and Joe Burrow.
Mm. Well, I would agree with this if um, this was around the time Joe Burrow went to the Super
Super
Bowl.
Bowl.
Um, and that was right away in his career. That was early on in his career, and SGA having early success as well. But I feel like with them, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
SGA obviously didn't get to the NBA and went to the finals right away, but he's still a young player and has gotten there currently. Whereas Joe Burrow, early on in his career, he got to the Super Bowl right away.
Hmm.
But I also think that with Joe Burrow, it's a little bit of his team. They're focused on, paying him, paying Jamar and T. Higgins, but what about the O line? What about the defense? So I think
Right.
that's held Joe Burrow back a little bit, but I see the vision in this one as well.
Yeah, both guys, they're at the top of that list. Top 3 players in their
Hmm.
respected sport, I think. Some people thought the NFC North was gonna be the worst division in football this season. They thought it was gonna be as bad as the NFC South.